Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Nothing ever stays the same in the skincare world. There's always a new ingredient on the horizon, a new holy grail that we have to rush out and purchase. Well, sometimes I like to take stock of this. Take a look at that ingredient and think, is it actually going to make any additional benefit in my skincare routine, or is it all hype over substance? Well, there's a new form of retinoid being talked about and getting a lot of hype online at the moment. It comes with the ridiculously long scientific name of hydroxyphenylcholine retinoate. Now, that is often abbreviated to HPR for short. People will say this is like a new addition to your skincare routine that will give you maximum anti-aging benefits, but with minimum risk of side effects and irritation. What they don't tell you is actually HPR has been around for a whole long time under its other name, GRANACTIVE RETINOID. You know, that one that The Ordinary does in their skincare collection, and some of us have probably used in the past. Well, one thing that has changed is there's been some recent studies done on GRANACTIVE RETINOID and how effective it is, and I want to share with you the thoughts, feelings and opinions that come from that in today's video. Sit back, relax, let's talk, is GRANACTIVE RETINOID really worth it? Now, before we get into this video, just that quick reminder to do all that YouTuber stuff if you haven't already. If you could reach down and give this video a big thumbs up and a like. Honestly, this is the very best way of supporting me as a content creator, because the more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. I would also love to know what your retinoid of choice is. What ingredient do you go for? What products do you swear by? Leave me a comment. Let's get that conversation going. I've got a lot to say in this video, so shall we just cut that waffle and delve straight on in? So, GRANACTIVE RETINOID HPR. What does it do? What are the claims? Well, it's getting a lot of hype at the moment because people have started to call it out as being one of the highest potency retinoids over the counter, delivering minimum risk of irritation. Well, a lot of us associate higher strength retinoids, vitamin A derivatives, of having a lot of redness, peeling, irritation, especially in those initial first couple of weeks of introducing it. Well, that doesn't always have to be the case. Retinoids have come a long way recently, and some of the newer innovations in this field mean that you can get some really great anti-aging benefits without having to go through that whole transition period. There are a whole host of reasons why you might want to incorporate a retinoid in your skincare routine. First and foremost, for anti-aging. Retinoids vitamin A derivatives are wonderful at boosting levels of collagen and elastin in the skin, which over time will minimise the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. They're also great at increasing cell turnover to give a little smoothness back to our complexion and to help fade hyperpigmentation. Some of them can also fight acne, so if like me you're still suffering with breakouts even into your late 30s, the inclusion of a retinoid could be a really great step for your skincare routine. Whatever your reasons for reaching for one, I think there's a couple of things you need to know before you grab it and apply it to the skin, and I covered some of the key mistakes we make with retinoids in a recent video, which I'm going to leave a link to up there. Definitely watch that after this one to work out if you have already chosen a retinoid for your routine. Make sure you're doing it right. So GRANACTIVE RETINOID is actually a synthetically derived retinoid ester. So we have different forms of vitamin A derivative and they come at different strengths. And this can be really mind-boggling. This is where I say, you know, sometimes it can become a little bit overwhelming understanding the differences between the different ones. So on the screen here, I'm going to put a chart which I actually borrowed from Dr. Sam Bunting over on her Instagram, which I've linked in the description box below. Definitely show her some love because her Instagram has so much great skincare content on it. But what this graph shows is the different strengths. So you've obviously got tretinoin, retin A, which is the highest potency, often prescription strength. You've then got GRANACTIVE RETINOID and retinol, which is a similar strength in terms of their performance. You then go down a notch to retinol, and finally we've got the retinol esters, which tend to be the most gentle, but also the least effective. So the reason that HPR GRANACTIVE RETINOID scores highly on this chart is the number of conversions it needs to go through. So when we're talking vitamin A derivative, whatever form you go for, it has to go through various conversions to get to the retinoic acid that our skin needs to give all those amazing benefits. The total number of conversions it takes will determine how potent something is. So GRANACTIve RETINOID, like retinol, just takes one conversion, which means it loses less of its potency than, say, retinol that needs to go through 2 conversions, or a retinol ester that traditionally needs to go through 3. All those metabolic conversions are key, and this will really determine the strength of the individual type of retinoid that you're reaching for. Hopefully that graph has demystified things and explained it just a little bit. Like I say, go over to Dr. Sam's Instagram and show her some love. Now, I already use retinol as my retinoid of choice. I've covered some of the reasons why in a video, which again, I'm going to leave a link to up there if you want to explore the topic in a bit more detail. Because, like I said on that chart, retinol and GRANACTIVE GRANACTIVE RETINOID have roughly the same potency when you've done it in a side-by-side comparison. There's no real need for me to switch it up or change. I'm happy with the products that I reach for, and I'm probably going to be sticking with them. However, if you're reaching for a traditional retinol, it might actually be worth mixing things up to go for a GRANACTIVE RETINOID, and I'll mention some of my favourite products later on in the video, because I think you'll get some key additional benefits from this form of vitamin A derivative. So one of the main benefits is it works faster than retinol. So the reason for this is once it's absorbed into the skin, it metabolizes into retinoic acid and retinol. So you've already got some of that key ingredient that the skin needs to start delivering that anti-aging benefit. You're not waiting for further conversions to happen, so it's just quicker to act, which means if, like me, you're super impatient, that's definitely going to be a positive. It's also more gentle. Some of the recent studies have shown it's better absorbed into the skin and it's better tolerated by most skin types. The main reason I switched from retinol to retinal is because retinal is better tolerated on the skin, and this is the same thing that goes for GRANACTIVE RETINOID. So if you're struggling to incorporate your retinol, you're finding the peeling, the sensitivity and the irritation is never subsiding, a GRANACTIVE RETINOID might actually give you an enhanced performance and outcomes and less risk of that irritation in the first place. Of course, it's all going to depend on our individual skin. Our skin is unique like we are as people. Different people will react differently to different ingredients, but generally speaking, it's better tolerated on the skin than retinol. The third reason why I think it's a better alternative than standard retinol is it's more shelf stable. So recently there's been a lot of talk about just how much potency our retinoids lose when we leave them on the shelf for too long a period. One study showed that in some instances up to 80% of the beneficial retinoids within a product were actually lost after a 3-month period. Now, of course, there are so many factors that determine this: the quality of the packaging you use, how you store it, temperature, exposure to sunlight, all this good stuff. But I would always say, just as a general rule, don't buy your retinoids in bulk and then sort of squirrel them away, because actually, whilst they're doing that, it is going to be losing some of its potency. The great thing about GRANACTIVE RETINOID is it's more shelf stable. So you can buy a product and it generally has a 12-month shelf life, where traditional retinols will start to degrade at around the 3 to 6 month period. So if you're somebody that likes to use your products over a long period of time or buy in bulk, I think it's safer to do that with a GRANACTIVE RETINOID product than it is from a traditional retinol. Finally, it just pairs better with actives. You'll often hear people agonising on what they can and can't use together in their skincare routine. Can you use this active ingredient with a retinoid, or should it be avoided? Well, GRANACTIVE retinoids, because they are so gentle on the skin in comparison to traditional retinol, you can pair them with things such as vitamin C and other potentially irritating actives. This takes some of the stress out of our skincare routine, and that has to be a good thing. I don't want to have to think about what I can and can't piece together in my routine, which is why opting for retinal, in my case, or a GRANACTIVE retinoid will just allow you to pair things that you might otherwise not be able to do. Overall, for me, I'm sticking with retinal. You know, it works, it delivers what I want to see. I love the Geek and Gorgeous 8 Game 10, the Crystal Retinal from Medicate, so many great options, and I think retinal for me is the vitamin A derivative that just delivers the best benefits with the minimum side effects and irritation. However, if you're reaching for a retinol and it's not really working for you, either you don't feel like you're getting the results that you want to see, or perhaps you're still suffering with that redness and irritation even after the adjustment period, I think it might be wise to mix things up and try a GRANACTIVE retinoid. Switch it up and see how your skin responds to it. In most people, you'll see enhanced performance and outcomes and less of those side effects, which can really put people off from reaching continuously for retinoids. For me, there are 3 options that I would definitely recommend. First up, let's talk about this. This is the ordinary GRANACTIVE retinoid 2% emulsion. Now, they do other versions in squalane, but always get the emulsion. It just applies better on the skin. It's more hydrating, it absorbs better, you get a better user experience. This is a 2% GRANACTIVE retinoid, which is on the mid-strength if you look at some of the other options on the market. You'll get great results with this, minimum risk of irritation, and all those benefits that I just called out about a GRANACTIVE retinoid. This super affordable. You want to do it on a budget? I think the ordinary emulsion is where I would go. You could also reach for the e.l.f. Youth Defying Serum. So this has a 1% concentration of GRANACTIVE retinoid alongside retinal. So it's using these 2 different forms, both of which are my favourites, all together in a product to kind of double down on the benefits that you're going to see. Because both retinal and GRANACTIVE retinoids aren't particularly sensitizing on the skin, you should get minimum risk of irritation with this product, but some really great benefits in the long run. If you're feeling a little bougie and you want to push the boat out just a little bit for some extra benefits, then the Dr. Sam Flawless Nightly Pro Serum is a really great option. This uses a really really high concentration of 5% GRANACTIVE retinoid. So this is one of the most potent that you'll find over the counter. Combines it with a 2% bakuchiol, which is not retinol like some people would say, but it works in a very similar way and is a much more gentle way of almost getting the same outcomes, but with less irritation. I find that GRANACTIVE retinoids and bakuchiol work really, really well together, and they're all held in this powerhouse serum. This is a relatively new launch, and I've actually got mine on my way because I want to put it through its paces and let you guys know what I think. But just on the ingredients alone, I think this is a great option if you want to go for a super high potency GRANACTIVE retinoid. So there you have it, guys, a little bit of a demystifying of HPR GRANACTIVE retinoid. People might be saying this is new, it's innovative, it's first of its kind, when actually it's been around for a whole long time. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be excited to incorporate into our skincare routine. If you already have a retinoid that's delivering for you, not causing you too much irritation as suits your price point, I won't be in a rush to switch things up. I'm certainly not. But if you're struggling with your retinol, maybe you want to try something that's going to give you enhanced benefits or reduce the risk of any side effects. I think GRANACTIVE retinoids are where it's at. Sound off in the comment section below with your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and wherever you are in the world, guys. Stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.